They call it the greatest film never to win Best Picture, a box office disappointment that blossomed into a timeless classic embraced through the power of word of mouth and cable TV airings. This is the story of the Shawshank Redemption. For countless cinephiles, this film about hope, friendship, and redemption stands tall among cinema's all-time legends. Yet, beneath its familiar narrative, hides a trove of secrets that even the most devoted fans have yet to uncover. Today, we're peeling back the layers to reveal Shawshank's most closely guarded mysteries, insights straight from the very cast and crew who breathed life into this cherished tale. We're diving into hidden meanings, behind-the-scenes tensions, and symbolic flourishes woven throughout the film that completely reshape the way you experience Andy Dufresne's journey. These aren't just fun trivia tidbits. These are profound revelations shared by the actors themselves over many years, keys that open doors to fresh perspectives on a movie many feel they know inside and out. From Morgan Freeman's surprising admissions about his iconic character Red, to Tim Robbins' secret methods for embodying Andy, to the scenes cut from the final cut that would have shifted the story's tone entirely. This is Shawshank as you've never seen it before. By the time we finish, your perception of the Shawshank Redemption will be forever altered. The film that almost never was. Before we dive deeper into the cast's revelations, consider this remarkable truth. The Shawshank Redemption nearly never reached theaters. When Frank Darabont initially approached Stephen King about adapting King's novella, Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, King was skeptical, not doubting Darabont's talent, but fearing the story was too internal, too psychological to translate to film. What's less known is that King eventually sold the rights to Darabont for $1. Yes, just $1. It was part of King's Dollar Baby initiative, where promising filmmakers could adapt his shorter works for a symbolic payment. Tim Robbins shared in a 25th anniversary interview that this unique setup gave Darabont creative freedom rarely granted. We weren't churning out a big studio blockbuster with execs breathing down our necks, Robbins said. Frank had incredible control because, frankly, nobody expected this to be a huge hit. Morgan Freeman reflected, "It's ironic. The film that topped IMDb's charts for years began as almost an afterthought in Hollywood. Columbia Pictures didn't quite know what to do with it. This humble beginning set the stage for an unlikely triumph, a journey to greatness as winding and unexpected as that of Andy Dufresne himself. The prison that shaped Shawshank, one of the film's defining elements, is one of the most powerful choices that shaped the authentic atmosphere of the film was selecting the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, as the primary filming location. This enormous and foreboding structure had been shuttered just 4 years earlier, in 1990, due to its harsh and inhumane conditions. Walking through those imposing gates each day deeply affected the cast, influencing their performances in profound ways. Clancy Brown, who portrayed the fierce Captain Hadley, reflected on this experience. Every morning when we stepped inside, you could almost feel the weight of decades of suffering embedded in those walls. It was no longer just a filming location. It transformed into a living, breathing character within the story. The prison's oppressive atmosphere seeped into us, removing the need to fake the hardship. The pain was simply there. Tim Robbins, who played Andy Dufresne, shared moments when he'd retreat to the cramped prison cells during breaks, soaking in the intense claustrophobia and confinement. Those cells measured only 6 by 8 feet, he recounted in a 2019 interview. The instant the door shut behind you, something primal would ignite inside, a genuine panic that was impossible to simulate. In a commitment to realism that went beyond usual filmmaking practices, many of the extras in the film were actually individuals who had previously served time within the very walls of the Ohio State Reformatory. Director Frank Darabont sought to capture authentic emotions during the yard scenes and mess hall sequences, so he intentionally cast men with first-hand experience behind bars. Their rugged faces and knowing glances weren't mere acting, but reflections of harsh memories, lending an unparalleled depth to the scenes. This obsession with authenticity extended to even the smallest details. The production team painstakingly altered the appearance of the prison walls to reflect various decades throughout the story's timeline, gradually brightening and cleaning the surfaces as the narrative moved backward in time. These subtle touches, which most viewers never consciously noticed, created an unshakable sense of place and history. Morgan Freeman later remarked on how this dedication to truth transformed his portrayal of Red. "I wasn't simply playing a prisoner on a soundstage. I was embodying a man who had spent decades trapped in that very specific hellhole." That realization brought a distinct gravity to the role. Beyond the physical setting and atmosphere, the actors delved deeply into rich, nuanced backstories for their characters. Histories that never appeared on screen but shaped every faint expression, pause, and inflection. Morgan Freeman imagined Red as far more than a convicted murderer. In my mind, Red was a man who ran numbers within the Black community, perhaps starting in the late 1930s or early 1940s. He wielded influence and power outside before losing it all, which is why he became so skilled at smuggling things inside prison walls. He was the fixer, the man who knew exactly who to approach and how to get things done. This imagined past gave Red's character profound depth and explained his unique role within Shawshank Prison. It also shed light on why Red instantly recognized something remarkable about Andy Dufresne, seeing in him another man stripped of freedom and status, someone who once held power and had fallen from grace. As for Tim Robbins, his approach to building Andy was even more unconventional. In the director's commentary, he revealed, "I actually conceived of Andy as two distinct characters merged into one." This inner duality informed how I portrayed his behavior and reactions throughout the film. Within Shawshank Prison, there existed two versions of Andy. The one everyone saw, careful, methodical, slightly distant, and the true Andy, glimpses of whom only emerged in fleeting moments, like when he secretly chipped away at the wall at night. Tim Robbins brought this duality to life with remarkable subtlety that most audiences don't consciously notice. Publicly, Andy's posture was stiff, his movements controlled and minimal, embodying restraint. Privately, however, such as the poignant scene where he plays opera music over the prison speakers, his body language flowed naturally, revealing a freer, more authentic self. This nuanced shift underscores the complexity of his character, felt more than explicitly seen by viewers. Equally compelling was James Whitmore's heartfelt portrayal of Brooks Hatlin, the aging librarian. Whitmore drew upon personal experience, modeling Brooks after his own father, who battled depression late in life. One of the film's most touching moments, the scene of Brooks feeding the birds, was not original to the script. Whitmore suggested it because his father had done the same gesture in the park after his mother passed, a simple act steeped in profound loneliness. This intimate connection injected Brooks's brief but vital arc with a deep emotional resonance that lingers far beyond his screen time. The Shawshank Redemption is woven with layers of symbolism that even dedicated fans often overlook on initial viewings. Over time, the cast's interviews have shed light on these hidden depths, enriching how we perceive many iconic moments. For instance, Robbins revealed a subtle visual motif. Andy is frequently framed behind bars or through barriers in scenes where others are not. Even outside my cell, Frank would position me behind stair railings or fences, Robbins explained. This serves as a persistent reminder of Andy's unique imprisonment. not just physical confinement, but captivity shaped by his innocence, his past life, and his secret ambition. This powerful imagery recurs repeatedly, staying beneath the conscious perception of most viewers, yet adding a persistent subtext. Knowing this transforms how one understands the constraints binding Andy compared to inmates resigned to their fate. Morgan Freeman unveiled another hidden layer during the memorable roof-tarring scene. That moment isn't only about a fleeting taste of freedom, Freeman said. It marks the start of Andy's role assisting the guards with their finances, marking his evolution into the prison's financial wizard. While the others see a man sharing a rare treat, Red recognizes a man quietly orchestrating his future escape. The shared beer is far more than a simple indulgence. It's the first deliberate step in a carefully crafted, years-long plan. Even the film's most famous line, uttered by Red, "Get busy living or get busy dying," is steeped in deeper meaning. Clancy Brown disclosed that director Frank Darabont had this line displayed prominently on the production office wall long before filming began. This phrase doesn't just stick in the mind, it embodies the core theme of the entire narrative. It encapsulates the choice between succumbing to despair or embracing hope and action amidst even the bleakest circumstances, defining the very spirit of Shawshank's story. Every scene, every choice a character makes, must echo a central question. Are they choosing life or death, hope or despair? This theme pulses through the entire narrative, shaping every moment with profound significance. The poster, more than just decoration, one of the film's most iconic images, is the series of posters that decorate Andy's prison cell wall. These aren't mere backdrops or simple covers for his escape tunnel. They're a visual narrative of Andy's evolving journey. Tim Robbins illuminated this symbolism beautifully. The posters tell Andy's story. It starts with Rita Hayworth, embodying the 1940s and 50s, the era when Andy first arrives, classic beauty from a simpler, more innocent time. Then comes Marilyn Monroe, marking the late 50s and early 60s, a period more complex and charged with sensuality. Lastly, Raquel Welch in 1,000,000 years BC represents a primal, raw force. Dressed as a cave woman, she symbolizes Andy shedding civilization's surface, preparing himself to crawl through the filth of the sewage pipe and emerge reborn on the other side. Director Frank Darabont reinforced this interpretation. The posters track a progression toward freedom. Rita is modestly dressed, Marilyn reveals more skin, and Raquel is practically nude. It's Andy peeling away society's constraints as he readies himself for a rebirth. This clever use of imagery captures Andy's transformation and the stripping away of his old self. Whether as a silent storyteller, the film's use of weather quietly yet powerfully underscores the narrative's emotional shifts. Morgan Freeman highlighted this subtlety. Notice how it's always raining when terrible things happen at Shawshank. The night the sisters attack Andy, when the warden ends his life, and the tragic night Tommy is killed. The bleak weather mirrors the prison's oppressive atmosphere and the dark turns in the story. By contrast, Andy's daring escape unfolds during a raging thunderstorm, nature's violent expression reflecting the tension and drama of his breakout. The climax of this weather motif occurs in the final scene at the Mexican beach, bathed in bright, clear sunlight. Freeman observed, "That last scene is uniquely filled with beautiful, radiant weather. Every other outdoor shot is drenched in an overcast skies, rain, or gray hues. The sun doesn't truly shine until the very end. This burst of light symbolizes liberation, hope, and a fresh start, wrapping the story in warmth and optimism." The near loss of the iconic ending, one of cinema's most beloved endings, the heartfelt reunion on the beach, almost never made it into the film. Director Frank Darabont revealed a surprising battle with studio executives who urged him to end the movie with red only, riding the bus toward the Mexican border. They felt that hinting at hope through Red's journey was sufficient, and that the film's length was already pushing limits. Darabont fought back. They wanted to cut the beach scene entirely, insisting Red on the bus was a hopeful enough conclusion. But I believe the film wasn't just about hope. It was about hope fulfilled. This final scene brings emotional closure, transforming anticipation into reality. Tim Robbins shared an intriguing behind-the-scenes detail. We actually shot that beach reunion first. Frank wanted to capture that moment before Morgan and I could fully develop the on-screen relationship over the ensuing months of filming. He wanted the scene to hold a touch of awkwardness, a delicate, tentative quality that perfectly fits two old friends reconnecting after so long apart. This choice lends authenticity to the reunion, making it all the more moving and genuine. Two old friends reunite after years apart, setting the stage for a story that has touched countless hearts. The Shawshank Redemption, despite a modest box office haul of just $16 million during its initial release, didn't achieve immediate success. It was labeled a commercial disappointment by traditional Hollywood standards. Yet, as Morgan Freeman reveals, the film found a second life. It discovered its audience through cable TV and VHS rentals. When TNT began airing it regularly, viewers didn't just watch once. They returned again and again. It became soul-soothing comfort food. By 2019, this heartfelt drama held the top spot on IMDb's user-ranked chart for over 10 years, surpassing timeless masterpieces like The Godfather. Tim Robbins reflects on this remarkable journey. Just as Andy spent years chiseling through his prison wall with a rock hammer, Shawshank gradually carved its way into the public's heart, one viewing, one recommendation at a time. Andy's words to Red resonate deeply. Remember, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. If these insights have inspired you, I encourage you to revisit the film with fresh eyes. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into cinema's greatest treasures. Until we meet again, keep this in mind: get busy living or get busy dying. And that indeed is the truth.